This is Nina Curley of Wamda Media. I'm here at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit with Sassan Khatib-Shahidi, the co-founder of German Imaging Technologies, a Dubai-based printer cartridge manufacturing company. Sassan, how are you?
Very good. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So you were just ranked in the Arabia 500 regional rankings. You were ranked, I think you told me, number 11 for the UAE?
Well, in the Arabia 500, we are the 15th in the UAE, and in the Dubai SME 100, we were ranked 11th and the 6th fastest growing in the Dubai SME 100 ranking.
Mabruk.
Thank you very much.
So you started in 1999. Back then in Dubai, what was the gap in the market that you saw that made you want to create a printer cartridge manufacturing company?
Well, I was actually a practicing corporate attorney in Frankfurt, and I had a nice life sitting on the 19th floor of a nice tower next to Deutsche Bank. And somehow things changed in my life, and I ended up in Dubai. But I didn't see necessarily a gap in Dubai. The initial plan for setting up a facility in Dubai of larger scale was to outsource for a German manufacturer. We had at that time an agreement with the largest German manufacturer of toner cartridges in the aftermarket to produce for them. So we set up shop in Dubai. It took us about 6 months to set up the factory level and hire about 40 staff. By the time we had done that, we invested more than $1 million in our venture. And then the typical thing happens to an entrepreneur. A single customer is set up in the country, and that customer goes into bankruptcy procedures. So essentially, we invested over $1 million, and all of a sudden we had no customer. And we had a monthly cash outflow of $100,000 at that time. And we were literally bankrupt and had no customers. Yet here, 13 years later, we're still here.
Yeah, 13 years later. But but if you go bankrupt in the UAE, that's a serious problem. How did you recover from that?
Well, our core customer in Germany went into bankruptcy procedures after having set up everything. We were physically, practically bankrupt. So there were two options. Option number one, pack your suitcases and run. Option number two, stay in and work hard and get out of the situation that you were in. Our auditors, I remember even 3-4 years into our business, would say, this is a miracle. We don't understand how you still operate your business. In terms of your financials, you're dead, more than dead. But I think perseverance, belief in the market made us survive. And we shifted our business model. So a lot of people at universities and elsewhere try to study us and say, what kind of creative people are entrepreneurs? What makes them different? So one of the big buzzwords today is adaptability, and I think that's one of the most important words for an entrepreneur. We started with a model, we invested, we lost our money, that model failed. We needed to be adaptable. So instantly we went to exhibitions in Germany and tried CeBIT, the largest IT exhibition in the world, and tried to find another partner so we could outsource our product. And then we realized that the environment in Europe was very competitive at that time, in the year 2000, and that we really didn't have a competitive edge doing that. So the idea was, all right, now we are in Dubai. And the business is absolutely new. The environmental business of remanufacturing toner cartridges did not exist here in the Middle East. In fact, I recall when we tried to register our company, the word toner cartridge did not exist in the Chamber of Commerce and as a classification in the DED. It took us about 7 years, up to 2006, to get actually a proper license describing what we do. And it was a challenge. The mentality was not there, the understanding was not there, and the Arabic word was not existing.
So you went from, an outsourcing model to completely switching around and seeing that you were in a wide open market. How did you then target your customers? How did you then work on either educating the market or finding the few that would understand what you were doing?
Well, step one, what probably most do, we tried to build up a reseller channel. So we started producing the product, of course, packaging it, making it attractive, because previously we didn't focus on having a brand. So now we had to create a brand. That was a new experience. Of course, then we took the cartridge under our arms and walked up and down the computer street and tried to find all the resellers and tap into the reselling market. We quickly realized that in our market segment, the market was extremely fragmented. And also driven by counterfeit products and grey import products, and it is a very challenging market to place a new aftermarket environmentally friendly product. The value proposition is not really there for the reseller. So we started building our own direct sales, B2B. So adaptability again. So we went from outsourced model to the brand to our own brand, and then eventually we ended up with a B2B sales model. Today we employ 22 salespeople in the two Emirates, Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
And so you're now one of the fastest growing SMEs in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. What has changed between then and now in the ecosystem? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Will you continue to grow at this pace?
I think we will grow much faster. A lot of things have changed, and I think the bigger you become, the easier it is to grow, because growth is all about the quality of the people that you have, and when you get to a certain level that you can afford better, more skilled, more experienced people in your organization, and you can grow much faster and easier. We were ranked 6th fastest growing last year in the Dubai SME 100. Very proud of it. 100% during the recession over 3 years growth, and that in a industrial product, not in a service product or a website or a very easily multiple product that can multiply itself. We look very brightly into our future. We opened in this year Abu Dhabi, a sales office, which hit the break-even in the 5th month of operation and was profitable in the 6th months of its operation. We opened a corporate sales office in Dubai, so we have now 3 locations in the UAE. And definitely the next step is going to be the region, so Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, these are the options. The biggest challenge on that path is really not much other than growth capital. The access probably to growth capital is very difficult, and in a Series A placement, say $1, $2, $3, $4 million, that arena is very thinly positioned here in this region, and it's hardly any capital available other than very expensive bank lending. That's probably the biggest challenge. Else, I would say the only challenge is ourselves. So the better we operate as people, as a team in our company, we have now 70 staff members, the better we will tackle the market.
And do you have any advice for an entrepreneur starting up today in Dubai, doing something that's, has an environmental slant to it?
If you want to achieve a goal, you first of all should go out and do it. You should be ready that entrepreneurship is about challenges and solving challenges. So you should love those challenges, and you should never get frustrated at those challenges hitting you. So the hardest of the hardest challenges could be hitting you. Entrepreneurship is not a smooth sailing. So you definitely need to be adaptable. In terms of, for example, an environmental benefit, you might have a message, or you might be ideologically driven, you want to help the environment, but the angle you approach your business doesn't need necessarily to be head-on. In our case, for example, we market our product not as an environmental product. People don't know that actually German imaging technology saved over 1.3 million kilograms of CO2 over the last 5 years, and does over 150,000 kilograms of waste deduction per year in the UAE. But our customers, being IT members and purchase managers of companies, don't necessarily want to know that aspect and are more focused on the benefit of a product. So that would be my message. Don't necessarily go head on with what you want to achieve, but think about the benefit you deliver to your customers and market yourself around that.
Yeah, think about what they want, because they're not, in the business of, they're not a charity, or they're not necessarily in the business of supporting the environment.
Customers will always buy when it is beneficial to them.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us at Wamda.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.